So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 4 of the Rugby Union South Australia Premier Grade, Cooper's Premier Grade, up here in Elizabeth. My name again, Dave Webb. I'm joined by Josh Badcock. Hopefully at some point we will get somebody from Woodville, but we are about ready to go. Lindsay Adcock will start, one of the 2 Adcock brothers. We are underway. So Elizabeth will have first bite of it.
Jared Reid there, good take by Jared Reid. And yeah,
just a little bit sideways, and then the offload finds its way into Woodville hands. But it's been turned over again and again.
Good run by Joe Tuiliti.
Good go forward from Elizabeth. Brooks, who's stepped in as captain today. De Oliveira makes his return into that halfback spot.
Yeah, Sanka stepped up today, which is handy because we've got Jonathan Rosemeyer over in Melbourne, one of the COVID crew. For the
COVID crew, they should have T-shirts made. First penalty for not releasing. So it's going to be interesting, and I was talking to your old man, who's just away to our left. I was talking to him before the game, and I think if you're going to take anything away from the Barossa game that we saw a couple of weeks ago, you've got to get in front and hold on. You got in front at the Barossa and you just couldn't hold on at the end. It's an interesting conversation around that Barossa game. I think we'll talk about it in bits and bobs.
Yeah.
But I think, especially, when you do look to the left, I think you've got a bench of 2 at the moment. So holding on to this is going to be...
Yes, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for you. But we saw last week with Port Adelaide going to Wonka Paringa. I mean, we say on paper a lot, about rugby union. And on paper, you would say that Woodville are going to come into this and win this comfortably, especially with you having so many people out. But, if you get this right, and you keep possession of the ball and you don't throw it away and you look after each other and you stay as close as possible, then anything is possible.
Yeah, it's all about ball retention. So if they don't have it, they can't score.
Well, that's it. The worst you can do is draw. Just running repairs. Looks like he's got a wayward sprig. I'm going by memory at the moment. No, here comes one team sheet.
Be a few changes on this one. Elizabeth team sheet. Thank you, Sammy, President.
And she's doing it by memory. It is community rugby at its absolute best.
Yeah.
So one of the things. So while we've got this break and play, you heartbreakingly went down in red time when you took the short trip up to the Barossa.
Yes.
It was then noticed that there may have been some registration anomalies in the Barossa side, and Barossa had the result taken away from them. They appealed that and they've been given it back. Yes,
I think they won the game. So in terms of registering players, that's something I'll stay clear of.
Flat ball to Elite will work in through the middle again. De Oliveira looks again and again. They will come to this near side.
Matty Albert's good run. He's always a hard runner, Matty.
Beat Adcock first. De Oliveira again. Possession. 9/10 of the law for Elizabeth at the moment. Good counter ruck comes from a Woodville though, and then the kick finds its way into touch. And it'll be an Elizabeth lineup, and the lineup really didn't fire on all cylinders last time we saw you.
Yeah, and we're missing Troy Everson today. Unfortunately, he's a bit crook, so our main jumper. I was actually looking forward to Troy Everson go against Adcock in the line out. But unfortunately couldn't make it.
Just a pass that died, but they did have the scrum for the little knock on. But so it was the reverse. The scrummaging was very, very good when we went up to the Barossa. So we'll have a look at this one. Tommy Price is on this near side. You can see that he wants to have a chat with Mr. Garcia. You can see that he wants to. We'll keep an eye on the time. I think if he has to reset a scrum, he'll have no other option.
Well held there.
So Finney meets him in midfield, and the ball goes forward. Turnovers will not help Elizabeth. And they're away. Finney said he was going to score the first try, and he will wander around underneath the posts and open Woodville's account. There is the first one for John Finney.
He's a hard man to stop. He's a very good rugby player.
He is. I remember playing against him and coaching against him. And you just can't give him an open field.
No,
he will cause you all sorts of problems.
Yes.
So the account is opened early. And the med from Woodville will be happier with that. Lindsay Adcock will look to knock over the extras.
It was a classic game a few years ago, that grand final, that I think you commentated on that one.
Yep.
John Finney scored a couple in that game, but yeah, we were lucky to get one in the dying.
I think he went off injured, didn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Still one of the greatest try-scoring reactions ever, I think.
Yes. Corey Underhill.
Yeah, it was like the end of an 80s action movie. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll have to dig that out from somewhere and see it again. Finney just too quick, and then there's just this little show and go. But I don't think there was any chance whatsoever. The 2-on-1 as well. Good support running by Lindsay Adcock.
Yep.
And underneath the post, which makes it easy to make it 7-0. Looks like it's from what I've seen as well. I think we saw the under-14s game just before that one. I think it's been a tough day at the office for Elizabeth Rugby Club today.
Yeah, our B grade struggled against Southern Suburbs.
It's a very, very strong B grade that Souths have got this year.
They were a good mixture of old and young sort of talent there, and yeah, our team was just sort of thrown together during the week, so it was a tough day. It was under 12s before this game, and after this game we've got the 14s,
and the 16s,
yeah.
which is nice. I like that the 16s are your marquee game today.
Make a feature of it.
Yeah, under the lights.
Yep.
Price shifts it on. And now Woodville will just look to build. Get into midfield, and first up tackle is missed again. Now the chase is on. The ball goes to boot. It's a foot race. It's going to sit nicely.
Get up. And it's moved tight.
No signal. I think we're going to go for a scrum for a knock on carried over. Is the decision?
Yeah, it's a good kick forward there by is it Josh from Woodville?
It is Nathan Owen wearing the number 11 shirt. He was the chaser.
Yep.
Just trying to find him on my list now. Hayden Edwards. No, it's not Hayden Edwards. I'll find his shirt number in a minute. As they scrum down in a very, very dangerous position. Josh Peters with the kick ahead.
Yes, he's a good player, Josh. Should be interesting, this scrum.
It's a big challenge on this near side. I'm just trying to see.
Ryan Dicko against Tom Price.
Yeah. Heaps of experience. We just see this. So that's inside. Now it's inside the goal line. Oh, it's close.
Yeah, very tight.
It's a fair. It's a fair appeal by Jason Starchenko.
The drive happening here.
Yeah, and Woodville front row doing its job. Adcock.
Good tackle by Lewis.
Yeah,
Whiten.
runs into Whiten, and a penalty. Not rolling away. Red zone penalties. They've called for a scrum again because they were dominant. And when they set this up, Josh, unfortunately, it's a little bit of same old story as what we were talking about in Barossa. Those first up tackles have to be made. Whiten showing how it's done.
Yes.
But all of that came from just one missed tackle.
That's right.
Just in front of us, and then all of a sudden you're 2 5-metre scrums away from.
Makes it hard.
Yeah. So Woodville had the dominance in the last scrum. Again, they're comfortable with it. Have a blind side if they want it, which they do.
Oh,
He,
that was a try there waiting.
oh,
Bit of white line fever.
spent it before he got paid. But it'll be an Elizabeth scrum, 5 metres out. So this is a big one for Woodville. Jacob Parry working off the back, wearing the number 2, but playing halfback. Squad numbers at Woodville. Interesting to note that we're 10 minutes in on the Wojtek scoreboard, and I still have yet to see Tom Price in conversation with Mr. Garcia. Again, but a penalty.
A quick tap.
Yeah,
that's a big call.
Not 10, but he's gone behind him, so he's not going to let that go.
Okay.
Oh, now there is Tom Price is the sheriff of Woodville. I'm sure that may appear at some point during the week. Another line out. When they dropped to a 4-man line out and they dropped to a reduced line out up at the Barossa, everything worked a little bit better for them, but they are continuing to just push forward with the 7-man line out, and again it's a little bit messy, but Dickinson tidies it up.
Good clean up there by Dicko.
To Lavera again, to Whiten. Oh, just knocked forward again and turned over in a really dangerous position. Adcock manages to offload. And then that goes forward. It's still all a little bit messy.
Yes, a few offloads there.
Were you coaching last year? Definitely the year before.
I've always just helped out Jason.
Right.
So officially probably no, or assistant coach. So just always trying to help whoever is the coach here at Elizabeth. I always just try and help out, do what I can. This year I've been away a bit, so yeah, helping Jason out where I can. It's hard when you got a player coach, but yeah, he does a good job, Jason.
Corey Underhill is watching. Thanks for the shout out.
Great player.
Absolute Space Quake Sports legend, Corey Underhill.
Yes, Titanic music.
Yes, definitely. We're out again, Adcock. Out the back, and another handling error, which has been the story of 2020.
No, the ref, did he pick that up?
Well, if he didn't get that one, he's got to get that one.
Yeah.
Still playing an advantage, which would suggest that Elizabeth have the ball. But they're going to come back, and it's another scrum. And I think, in fairness, the way that the scrummaging has been going, you would probably suggest that you will take that.
Yeah.
Give you as long as an advantage as possible.
Yes, that's right.
Is there a change? Just try and see who's gone down. There is going to be a change.
Something wrong with his wrist, is there?
Not quite sure. But there will be a change. It's sort of elbow. Oh, there's a big swelling there.
I am.
I don't know what that is. I'm no doctor. He's not holding it very comfortably, is he?
No.
So that's an enforced change for Woodville, who, you know, do have the
flanker, number 6.
Okay. Certainly more. That's Nick Reynolds. So replaced early doors. Max Cargy will come on. So that looks like the Woodville bench down to 3. So neither of these teams have got a really deep bench unless there's some hiding.
I thought they might have a larger bench than that, because this is only their one team, isn't it, Woodville now?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
So another scrummage. This one will go Elizabeth way, and Dickinson will have to hold his own. better from Dickinson. You can see that.
He's doing well, a bit of pressure there.
Yeah. There was every trick in the book, does Tom Price. Whiten puts the ball on the boot. From a coaching point of view, and we talked about that, from a coaching point of view, with Whiten flirting with John Finney and a counter-attack opportunity.
Yes. But I think that was, he was
carried
passed
in.
back in, wasn't it? Yeah,
passed back in. So either way, not a great decision.
Yes.
Off the top, Adcock looks for the short ball. Little show and go, but Whiten winning that battle of the number 10s at the moment. Adcock looks to step just straight through.
Tackled by Cole Young.
Yeah, it's first time tackle was there this time. Now they will look to this near side and they will go over. Just too many numbers for Elizabeth.
Adam Fitzgerald there, one of our past players.
Yeah, he is an ex-player.
Yeah.
He's also a dual code player. We've talked about, there's a lot around South Australia that play the dual codes, but Fitzgerald plays for the Roosters, I think.
Yep. He's a good finisher, Adam
Yeah,
Fitzgerald.
they just ran out of numbers there.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much easier than that.
Yep, bit of an overlap.
Good hands from Liam Lung. Probably mispronouncing that. I apologise, Liam. Grab me at some point, tell me how I say it.
It's a fairly even contest apart from those obviously those gaps that they're finding, but the scrums are holding okay, I think, for Elizabeth. And yeah, it's a very, I think so far it's not too bad a contest.
Mr. Brooks getting in the conversations early. He's probably talking about the scrums because he is a front rower, and Tommy Price does know all of the tricks. And he's already been pinged once for driving up, so he'll probably move along to his next technique, shall we say. So Adcock will stroke that one over and the flags go up.
Nice kick, use the wind there nicely.
Should probably make mention of his hair. Actually, the TV does it a little bit of justice. It's another one of those haircuts where the
COVID cuts.
Yeah, the barber just seems to run out of time. Just does the sides.
Prickles has always been a bit of a fan of Adam Fitzgerald, I should say.
Well, he's had a haircut.
Fancy haircuts, yeah. He's normally got a ponytail.
He has, actually, and it's the first time I've noticed it. He is normally sporting a mane, but it looks more streamlined. Adcock again will sit underneath it. And again, that first tackle is missed. It just allows Woodville to get going forward again. Parry, inside ball from Price to Starchenko. Run through a brick wall for you. Adcock looks for territory, finds a fair amount of green grass.
Big gap at the
behind.
Back there.
Unconventional, but it goes out.
Jared Reid there covering back. Yeah, kicking it well and truly out.
But then we saw, if you watch the end of the Barossa game, that's
what we should have
kind of wish that had happened 2 weeks ago.
Unfortunately, yeah.
And once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah. A lot of new players still learning the game, so yeah, doing their best.
Yeah, and it's an interesting one, isn't it? As Woodville will get that one off the top. Mucky didn't quite work, and Elizabeth will pounce on it.
Matty Albert steals that one.
De Oliveira back to Whiten. That one's okay, it can go as far as it wants this time. And that again is something that I certainly have talked about in the past, is that you develop the players here and then they want to go on and do bigger and brighter things. I think you lost the first 5 to Port Adelaide last year.
Yeah.
You know, Uni have been on the side of that with Jenkins going from university to Brighton. Someone's struggling on the floor there.
Yeah, I guess it's good with the comp set up at the moment. We can still say we're playing in the best competition you can in South Australia.
That's true.
So there's less inclination of people leaving our club. But before that, yeah, we'd lose a couple. They want to progress their rugby, and that's fair enough. I actually did the same. I went to Old Collegians for 1 year, but yeah, if you want to progress your rugby, it's all good.
What I would like to see, though, is as they then reach the point where they're moving back from first grade into second grade, that they come back.
Yes, you're right.
That's what I would like to see.
Yep.
So when Mr. Jenkins, you know, finishes at Brighton, rather than, you know, stay and play second grade and third grade there, go back to the club that gave him his start.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
De Oliveira again. Oh, well, Hyam decides he wants to have a go. And have a go he does.
Hard runner,
Hyam
Jason.
versus Finney and Starchenko. They get him. Acres of space for him. We're off again with Alberts. Do have big midfield runners. Well, that's a big hit, and he's lost that backwards. And the knock on, just trying to see which way he's going to go. Yeah, the first knock on was no, too many. So it's going to be a Woodville scrum. There was knock-ons everywhere.
I didn't see that one, but definitely Ryan Dicko.
Yeah, I don't think Ryan was expecting to be hit that hard, but welcome to the party, Ryan.
Yeah.
He got up with a shocked look on his face.
Yeah, Dicko plays rugby league as well, so I think he's used to having a decent hit up. A few shots put on, I think. But it's good to see him out here.
It's been an intriguing battle so far between Dickinson and, you can see the angle that Price has chosen there. That one will hit the ground and off the chin of Finney.
Still play on.
We are playing on. Quite possibly one of the worst patches of rugby I've seen. Adcock. Then they will go out again. Another kick and chase.
Little space at the back.
Well done.
Covered.
Did very well, Kyle Young.
Yeah, good covering there by the flanker.
Just outside the 22, so they're going to have to go again. Whiten can't go out, has to find space. Does find space. It's only as good as the chase now. The dangerous Finney looking to find his way through. Will sit down Whiten, can't quite get away, and Brooks will come and finish him off. And still, not steal the ball.
So his knee down there, I guess.
Do you know, and for the first time in 2020, I'm going to get on my soapbox about that. You gave yourself up, John. You deserve to have it turned over.
Yeah. Yeah, it was unfortunate there. Seemed to strip the ball pretty well.
Yes. I mean, yeah. Probably something that you really do need to look at. And we'll see it here. Whiten didn't do so well.
Bounced off him there. Oh. I think it's good rugby myself, I agree, but it's
but apparently my catchphrase is Mr. Garcia is technically correct.
Yeah, that's right.
Apparently I need a t-shirt with it. So Woodville lineup, they've reduced to 5. Elizabeth will manage to sneak another one in, I think. Good line out off the top. Adcock into midfield. We've seen him tackle. And he can run as well. Ball security wasn't quite there. Kyle Young looking for the truck that hit him. But yeah, he's made the tackle on Ryan Dickinson, and now, yeah, you can't go that high on him.
Yeah.
Just his ball security wasn't there.
Yeah. Lucky there.
We're never short of good contact when we come up here.
Yeah, the boys like a bit of contact, a bit of we play fair, but like to think we play aggressive and make teams work for the win if that's what's going to happen. But yeah, definitely always every game up here, like to have a good contest and make them know they've played rugby.
So just the 14 points, the difference on the Wojtek scoreboard. You would think that Elizabeth don't want to leak any more points before half time if they can help it. Adcock out the back again. Another slip tackle, and again they get their hands away, and
knock on.
Again a try scoring opportunity goes to waste. It was there, and again Nathan Owen just couldn't bring it in. Just snatched that a little bit, and he would have been in, you think.
Yeah, lucky the last few plays there. They haven't scored a couple more on us, but it's game on still now.
Almost the commentator's curse for him. The sun breaks through again. There will be Elizabeth scrum, and just trying to see, it's definitely inside the 22, so they can clear the lines if they want to. Good solid scrum from them. Whiten this time decides he wants to have a run. Breaks through the first one. Adcock chases. Oh, and it's contagious for the wingers.
Unfortunately by Daniel
Grungo.
Couldn't quite hold it.
Just what Grungo will be saying is it was just a little bit behind him.
Yeah. Well done here by Lewis. It was brave move to run it from there.
Great break, and Adcock was after him, and Grungo just couldn't bring it in. That would have made for an interesting foot race. So now a Woodville scrum. There's been a great battle between these two. We'll see which way Tom Price decides to go. I think he's decided he's going to go in. The referee is on his side now, so he might behave himself, which he does.
That seems good to me.
Adcock will do the same as Whiten. And anything Whiten can do, Adcock will do better, and he will stroll underneath the posts and dot it down.
Very good step there. Sold some candy.
Was the same, and it's because he's distributed and then distributed and then distributed, and then he could just step and go. Saw the gap open up and off he went. Obviously that aerodynamic haircut helping him out. So as we said, we didn't really want them to leak any extra points, and again it's just that first up defence that's causing them the problems.
There wasn't much cover there either. Sort of missed tackle, wasn't too much cover, so yeah, a few gaps opening up already, unfortunately.
Well, again, I haven't said this much in 2020. That's a coach killer. It's first phase, a first phase try.
That's right. It shouldn't be happening really. But well done by Woodville.
Yeah. I think there was, I think it was Scotland or one of the World Cups did some stuff, and you see, if you're watching youngsters, ball in two hands until the gap opens up, and then off you go.
Good running.
He's done well there. I think it was the Scottish Rugby Union who worked out that you will get X number of tries, like nailed on try scoring opportunities a game, and you have to take at least 3 of them. Yet to see one, a real try scoring opportunity for Elizabeth, but their percentages right now have to be 100%. They have to take all of their try scoring opportunities if they're going to stay in this one.
Exactly right. This could be a chance here perhaps.
So an Elizabeth lineup. Hyam brings it down to the De Oliveira. Whiten into the centres. Possibility of high, but we're playing on. De Oliveira wanted to go the same way and finally gets a runner.
Maddie Albert's hard running again to Kyle. Kyle Young.
Parry almost got hands on. Hyam at the back. De Oliveira comes bound and takes control. Whiten. Better from Dickinson. Ball pops out and Hyam picks it up. Tries to go around the outside. Again, looks for a target. Finds a target. Again will make yards. De Oliveira. Whiten. Now Whiten will look for a little big boy work.
Stolen there? No.
Close. Couldn't quite beat the clean-up. Brooks will step in. Dickinson now has got a taste for it. Whiten will step into halfback. Hyam. Maybe add a tenth of a thought. Hyam taking that sacrifice tackle as well. Whiten again, little bit of a rush line. Then he will get it to Grungo. Grungo is going to get there.
Well done.
Definite try scoring chance for Elizabeth, and they've taken the first one.
Lewis saw his gap and it took his gap, so the two number 10s are playing a good game. Good to see this battle, and linked up well with Daniel Grungo. He finished up try well there. Well done.
Has been an intriguing battle between the two number 10s, and Grungo got that one right. But patient build-up, good recycle.
Yeah, a few phases there. That was good work by Elizabeth.
Tough kick for Whiten. Out on this near side. Advice for Dickinson on how to run the ball coming from the Elizabeth bench. I think he's started to realise now that, you know, he's not going to be able to run like he does in rugby league and bolt upright.
It's all right, get a bit lower. He's learning, he's playing well.
Certainly is playing well.
A bit to the left there by Lewis, but yeah, it's good to see that try. Game on again.
So just the 5 points, but they've brought them back, and yeah, it's these two number 10s are putting on a little bit of a show today.
Mm.
A little finger raise from Grungo. Certainly no Corey Underhill celebration, but they come later, I think. Adcock with a high hanging restart into the sun. He's actually done really, really well.
Take by Andy.
Ball ends up on the floor, but Mr. Garcia seems to like rugby, so he just lets it go. Now the arm comes out. Penalty. High.
I like when the referees let the game go a bit, get the game a bit more free flowing. It's good.
And penalties, it will be a line out on halfway. There's a Woodville name from the past, Thinus van Logrenberg, saying basic skills are needed.
Much action on the live stream there. Feedback?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Again, it's messy, but Brooks will tidy it up.
Knock on there by Woodville, playing advantage.
To Lavera, to Whiten again. Now they will look into the centres again. Decides to come back to the relative safety of the forwards.
Strong there, run there by Dylan Scully.
To Lavera, Hyam. Passes it on to Oliver.
Big
Good clean out, massive clean out. Another little gap. Can he get it away to Grungo again? He can. Didn't look overly forward to me, but a penalty for offside anyway, and they can go and take some more territory. And Elizabeth really starting to grow into this now. It's Hyam. Plane taking off, plane not landing.
He fell over.
Referees will let you lose your feet if you that's your angle.
Yeah, yeah.
So Whiten again, just making sure there is a breeze here. Gusty.
It's nothing worse than getting the penalty and going for kick for touch and not finding touch, or finding, I guess, John Finney or someone like that. So
it's always a balance between making sure and getting as much territory as possible.
Yeah.
But the line out still for Elizabeth, just not there. But you have to say that Woodville are missing their twin threat of Connor and Adcock, so Elizabeth can just move away from Adcock.
Mm. Good line out there.
Starchenko saying he can't get out when nobody's anywhere near him. Whiten, flat ball, oh, just couldn't take it in. Gonna play on though. Adcock to Adcock. He gets that away. Slight suggestion of forward. Now it's an overload and a wrap around to Finney. And Finney will score his second one of the day. He will trot around underneath the post. There was a suggestion of forward on Adcock's offload.
I think it was just good rugby, good support play. Yeah, that was just, you know, a good rugby, good try, well done. Kept the ball alive, supported each other.
No, we'll let that one go. I mean, camera angles.
Yeah.
Camera angles. But Josh Reynolds again, Josh Peters again, swooping on the drop ball and starting the counter-attack. And again, from an Elizabeth point of view, when they get into half-time, if you look at what's happened, I mean, we're a 4-try bonus point for Woodville already, just before half-time, but 3 of the tries are This tackle is in midfield, which is leading to overlaps, and that one's a drop ball, which has led to a counter-attack. And
Yeah.
they're easy fixes.
Yeah, that's right.
To an extent.
Yep, yep. They are finding the gaps, so, and I think, yeah, they're working to their strengths. So, yeah, we need to work on that. You're right.
It's not all doom and gloom. I mean, you can look at it and you go, well, we've got 6 players away. They've had to go to Victoria, and you know we're disjointed and stuff. But there's positives there for Elizabeth.
Yeah, yeah.
Just fix the little things.
Yep.
Whiten will restart. Goes away from Adcock this time, and we'll find Starchenko.
Oh, big contact.
Big contact. Andy Oliver won't step back from that, but that is Jason Starchenko.
Looked a bit awkward, that one, but he's up and about.
Price. Oh, Price goes for a gallop.
Stolen there by Lewis.
He had a look at it, but yeah. Hands, once you're there, yeah. See, that's why back shouldn't do that. It's actually more complicated than you think. Here we go. Showed to kick, but it was never going to happen.
Oh, yes.
That's just a big front on contact.
Kept going, didn't he?
Although you would say that Mr. Starchenko would probably get 6 weeks in the AFL for that.
We found a bit more ground with that kick, so.
I think that's the way the wind is going. I mean, looking at the trees, but it's almost like a left to right wing. Probably bottom left corner of your screen to top right corner of your screen is the way the wind's going.
Yep, yep.
So Woodville with another lineup around in the 22. They have dropped to a 5-man. Go to Adcock. Elizabeth happy for it to happen. Into midfield again, and little bit of revenge from Dickinson. Not a big hit, but at least he stopped him. Then Adcock will go inside to Starchenko. Tries to step out of one. Can't quite get there. Parry sends it to this near side, and again Woodville just head down, bum up. Hard-nosed rugby at the moment. Parry to Price. Price versus Brooks. Price will rumble after the contact. Parry again. Adcock, they've got numbers. Adcock again. Decides to go himself.
Yeah, good clean rugby there by Woodville. No drop balls that time, so yeah.
No, there's not a lot to criticise there. That was just good rugby.
A lot of good passages of play there. So good support, cleaning out.
And they finally ran out of numbers, and
yep. Good loose forward try there.
Yeah, the youngster out there. Is it Jared Reid who's wearing the 11? Who was the winger out there? I haven't got anyone for number 11.
11 on that side.
But he was stuck between the devil and the deep blue sea at that point.
Yeah, good overlap.
I mean, if you want to be completely critical, do one of them.
Yeah, it's all right, yeah.
Go and hit somebody, don't stand in the middle.
You're right. That's a good theory. I don't know why Elizabeth aren't contesting at the line out. That seems a bit too easy for Woodville at the moment.
Yeah.
Should at least contest that. But.
I think the only thing I could think is, I mean, a 22-metre driving maul is impressive, but I think they were probably thinking, let's prevent the driving maul.
Yeah, they can work for that line out, I reckon. Yeah, Jared Reid there, make that.
Yeah,
that's.
I mean, one of the two.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, if you hit him and he passes it, you've at least done something.
That's right.
And unfortunately, you do tend to get stuck between the two, and there's not a lot you can do. So Whiten will restart again. He moved away from Adcock and then found Starchenko. Let's see whether he will find a different target.
Deeper kick.
Adcock goes and gets it. Adcock takes on Brooks. Oliver will bring him down from the back. Big loud blast, not rolling away.
Yeah.
Oliver.
Wasn't much movement there, unfortunately.
I couldn't move, I'm trapped. Up. Got himself in trouble up at the Barossa as well, did big Andy Oliver.
He new to our club this year. I think he's from England, Andy, I believe.
I think he was wearing a Northampton shirt, so we're going to go around Northampton.
Yep. But all the new players, the better for us. But he likes to talk, I think.
Yeah, he's having a chat again.
Yep.
It's almost one of those. He's almost one of those players where you just have to reach the point where you just make him match day captain because he's going to talk anyway. So we'll see. They certainly look as if they're going to compete on this one.
No.
I think they would have done if it. And again, they've just allowed the time and the space, and through the middle they go. Dickinson again makes the first up hit. Just too easy for Woodville at the moment. Couple of tackles missed again, and they find themselves within 5 meters again, and over they go again. That one is Max Cargi, and again Josh Peters causing all sorts of problems, but there's been changes all over the place for them.
Yeah, new halfback is there for Woodville.
Yeah, it's Tim Stavost. But the yardage that Woodville are getting after contact means that everything they do is on the front foot.
Yep, quick clean outs, and Elizabeth not posting up there quick enough. So opening was there, took it.
So we have ticked over 40 minutes on the Wojtek scoreboard, so we're into red time. There's been a little bit of injury time, so seeing how much time we put on for that, but Woodville comfortable. We did say that Elizabeth wouldn't want to leak anymore, and they have, and unfortunately leaking is the word. You know, it probably made Woodville earn one try. The rest of them have just been a little bit soft.
Yeah, that's right. It's generally been a good contest, but yeah, those few overlaps they've found, and yeah, they're capitalising on those opportunities, like you say. Whereas Elizabeth aren't really creating those opportunities.
The thing that you love about Elizabeth, though, it really doesn't matter what the score says. They will come back to every single kickoff, won't they?
That's right, yeah. They're ready to go.
Whiten, good kickoff. It's contestable.
Good take there.
Adcock does well. Always does well getting off the ground, Adcock. Makes him basically Barley. Price. Take on Dickinson. Dickinson certainly put a shift in for first up tackles today. Goes to ground, so we will go again, and it will be a scrum. Bang in midfield.
Good opportunity.
I'm saying it now, this will be a number 8 pickup.
Okay. That's a good call.
With a blind side that side, and if I was Jason Heim, I'd be pushing all the backs over to this side and saying, let me run one-on-one.
Give some paddock to him.
Yeah. And they have overloaded this side, and
is he looking?
They're trying to overload it. Nobody really wants to.
He's binding on the flanker there, so.
Split again. He's given himself a lot of space over on that far side. Penalty. Yeah, he's got Tom.
Quick tap.
Up and in.
Oh no.
Not 10, so I think they might have got away. Oh no, they're going to knock on. And that will be half time, so it kind of fizzles out at half time. But the score on the board is Woodville 42, Elizabeth 5. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a small break and we will be back with you shortly. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Half-time break. I did go and stand by the huddle and had a listen in, and a very quick chat with Jason afterwards. And first up tackles.
Yep.
Don't let them run at us. They're allowing them too much space.
Yep.
And clean the lineouts up. So there might be a future for me in this rugby lark.
I reckon. You know your thing, Dave. You know your rugby, Dave, that's for sure.
So White, and I do know that this one's going to go deep as well. They did talk about it.
Not quite deep at midway there.
Adcock will return again. Adcock versus, the arms going up. Just the lazy one from Oliver. Did hear him at half time as well. Inside ball to Starchenko.
Tackle Kyle Young.
Is a phrase that we use more often than not, but the evergreen Jason Starchenko, and again it goes to ground.
Play on.
Playing on though, and we're away. Now he's got ball in hand and can go. Puts the ball on the boot. Chase comes from Adcock, but it is tidied up. Clearance of sorts. Straight to Starchenko, who runs over the top of one. Ankle tap gets him eventually.
Caught Elizabeth offside there, I think.
Again, it's exactly what they talked about at half time. Floaty one into midfield. They are allowed to get a head of steam up, aren't they? Parry to Adcock. Out they go again. And over they will go again. And Sparkles will get his second one of the game. Not Sparkles.
Prickles.
Prickles. Sparkles is on Cooperinga.
He's got a few nicknames over the years, though. Adam Fitzgerald, well finished, and good rugby again by Woodville. Just enough passages there to create an overlap, really.
But it is what he said. It's just allowing them to get ahead of speed up. And if you allow Starchenko and even Max Cargi to get ahead of speed up, that makes rugby very, very difficult.
Yeah, you've got to cut them down early. Yep.
Oh, and we are being joined in commentary. I just looked up and seen he's got the headset on. Being joined in commentary by David Muggleton, the creative director, creative genius behind Spacequake Sports.
Let's go with creative director. Let's just.
We'll reserve the genius for later on.
We'll see how it all pans out long term.
But just as Adcock will line this kick up. Sends it on the way, drifting nicely. Has it got the legs?
Close.
No.
Not enough.
Flags stay down. So David, Spacequake Sports, this is what, the 4th year that we've been doing rugby live?
4th year live. Of course, 5 years ago, you and I did our incredible commentary run when we covered the Old Coles Onkaparinga Grand Final. So
I'm sure that will be brought out again at some point.
we've got to dig it out from the archives and then burn it and make sure it can never be discovered again.
It's on the internet now.
Yeah, once it's there, it's there.
Whiten will kick off. Drives it long again. And it's such a... Oh, Starchenko decides to go. Oliver does better that time. Parry to Price. Oh, a little show and go. Sold some candy.
Can't do that as a prop, can you?
No. Unusual for him to give candy away. And again, they're off and running. Parry with time. Again, dangerous in midfield. Well, it looks like they managed to get hands on the ball. Can they keep him upright? No, they can't.
Going for the ball, not enough for the legs, though, unfortunately.
Yeah. Parry again to Adcock. Sees a little gap that he likes.
Solid contact.
Runs into the quite substantial Andy Oliver. Parry again. And again, Dicko putting his hand up for that dirty work in midfield. And Brooks with the counter ruck. Coming back for possibly an offside. It is an offside. We'll take the opportunity just to bring David back in. So as we said, 4 years live, and the Spacequake Sports is spreading its wings at the moment. And
well, we're trying to. The old pandemic did try and clip the wings a little bit, but we're still out and about trying to capture as much Adelaide Premier competition as we can.
So the netball has come on this year. The Premier League netball has come on this year. Two matches a week.
So we are doing a match around for the first time with the Premier League netball, and they're actually going to be playing every Friday and then every second Monday to catch up on the season.
And then we will expect to see around the final series, we're going to see the softball obviously will come back next year.
Softball and baseball, I'd imagine, will be back during the summer. We'd be wanting to get a couple of big grand finals for the winter seasons.
And the gridiron will be back as well.
I'd imagine so.
So
contested, and we get the ball.
See, the real question
wide
is:
range of sports.
Are you? Have you officially retired from the gridiron?
We have. We'll go back to the rugby, and I think just heard Josh in the background explain that they contested and won one, but then they turn it over. Whiten looking to offload inside and finds a Woodville hand. Parry again, behind everybody.
Sunk and stripped the ball there.
Another little strip. Tidied up by Elizabeth. Mucky has been the word for today, unfortunately, as Alberts manages to get an offload.
Matthew Prada hit up.
Wearing the 24 shirt, which is generally the highest number, is generally the biggest shirt in the club, so
he's happy.
Some bragging rights with that.
Big shirts this year, so he's happy, man.
Another one stripped in the tackle. There's no offside, despite the shouts from the Elizabeth bench. That's open play, gentlemen. And he doesn't have to come in from the back. I do love having conversations with, with spectators when they can't hear me.
Ian Hughes, that one. He's always got something to say.
Yeah. Just another penalty, and he's just going to talk to them as well. So we might let David go back and do his photography work. But before you go, David, what is there more to expect from Spacequake Sports in the coming months?
This Monday, 7 p.m, the round 2 of netball, Newton Jags versus Tango. For the next couple of months, it's just going to be match the round netball and rugby, and then amp things up for a couple of grand finals, hopefully.
So we look forward to seeing them. You can find them on all the social medias. If there's anything you're interested in, go to the relevant organisations.
It's great to have Spacequake Sports doing this, because there's a lot of players here from interstate or parents at interstate that can't quite make the game.
Well, Matt Connor is watching in Victoria.
Exactly right,
Good afternoon, Matt.
I was in hospital last year for a brief stint. I watched one of your live stream games from hospital. Just so many reasons it's good to have this opportunity.
Another line-out goes astray, and another line-out stolen by Woodville.
And good that you go around the grounds and just you're fair with the coverage by all the teams. It's good to have you out here.
Adcock again goes for a little wonder. Parry gets there, and there's numbers to burn over here.
That wide there was on.
They've decided to kick it over the top. And again, he just has a little bit of trouble trying to get it back. He's got to try and get around the outside of Adcock, look for support, which he does. And again,
well there, Jared.
A clearance of sorts will find its way back to Parry. Little show and go from Parry, and then out they come to this near side. Shakes away the first tackle. De Oliveira gets him, and then it goes forward. They've left a couple in the bank, haven't they, so far, Woodville?
Yeah, there was a big overlap there. I'm not sure why he kicked it, but I think Jared Reid did well there to cover.
Yeah, he's certainly being worked out on that chase back and cover. He was targeted last week. I wonder whether they watched the the footage and decided, but De Oliveira with a last-ditch tackle there.
It's a good tackler, Sanka. Tackles low. Good technique, Sanka.
So Andy Oliver at half-time announced that half of the United Kingdom would be watching him.
Okay.
Which I did have to Google it, but that's around 35.5 million people. So wow. We'll take that audience. Not sure we're quite up there, but thanks for your help, Andy.
Jason having to go off the back.
Takes on Parry, manages to get away from Adcock just, but Parry gets the penalty. I mean, he's going to ask the question, and I agree with him. Did not see a clear release from Parry. We might get a replay of it, but I did not. I might be wrong.
Yeah, you're right. The release wasn't there, but Jason was a bit isolated, so I don't know.
Yeah, but
the release wasn't there.
I don't think it was. I don't know whether. Here we go. So takes on Parry. Parry's still got him. Still got him. Still got him. Oh, there is a release. You got to ask the question whether he came around though, but that's a very quick release. Well done, Mr. Garthia.
Yeah.
Again, technically correct.
Yep.
So the line-out goes, Adcock. Another little knock-on from Parry. I tell you what, every single coach in rugby will be looking at this, and when players complain about a pre-season, look what happens when you don't have one.
It's been hard to train. I've been absent from their trainings for the whole year pretty much, but I imagine it's very hard to train with limited numbers, and the attendance has been down. But that's the same for every team though, I suppose. So
I think Woodville was saying, because Woodville obviously for the first time in a long time, people all the way across the age grades, they're having to train like 4 nights a week.
Okay, to separate them.
To separate them all, because obviously there's only a certain amount of people that you can have at training.
Yeah, I think we're training later. We're starting later to be separated a bit from the juniors, I think.
So it'll be a scrummage, and it'll be an Elizabeth ball, which they were happy with at half-time. They feel like they're dominating the scrum, so they're comfortable scrummaging.
They did have a few things to say about Tom, with a few
I'm sure
going at an angle.
I mean, yeah, you can see again, you just straight up. Well, this time.
Not too happy.
So a little bit of afters. Andy Oliver working as a peacemaker. You can't see my quotes, but It's been a great battle between Dickens and
Standing up, wasn't he?
Dickens and Price. He wants to have a chat with Brooks. I think Brooks was the first to stand and defend his prop. Or maybe he's just talking to him as a captain.
Yeah, I think it's just captain talk there. I think without Troy Everson here today, Brooks is the captain.
Yeah. I think Troy feels a little bit better, but again, that's sensible and smart, because you would think, Troy's made of mahogany as well, isn't he? Like, if he's just got a sniffle, I wouldn't have normally kept him away.
Exactly.
But we live in a world where you've got to be, err on the side of caution somewhat.
Yep. Yeah, risk exposing everyone else. But
it's always the way, and we'll see what happens from this one. You just see it there. Yeah. Just a little shove. Oh, there's a... I think he's lucky that he didn't get caught with that one. That's a reversal. Sparkles might take off for Adam Fitzgerald. They've got him mixed up with an Onkaparinga player. And now there's a penalty for going in the scrum. What I was going to say was that whenever there's a flash point, I think referees need to take control of that and say, well, not referees as such, it's almost the laws of the game thing. When there's a flash point, don't allow the same thing to happen again.
Yeah.
I mean, how often do you see it where there's a flash point and then they'll tap the penalty, and the two biggest boys will run into each other, and off we go again?
Yeah.
So when you have a flash point at a scrum and you give a penalty and they say, oh, I want the scrum, you kind of think to yourself, oh.
It's going to be on. But that's what makes a game what it is. Makes it interesting. Front rows love it. So.
Again, messy, but Brooks does the best to tidy it up. Little knock on from Woodville. Just starting to be a little bit of niggle underneath the surface. You might hear the excitement in my voice.
There was a bit of a niggle there, a bit of a late hit. And
nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Lisa Kenny watching. Well, there's another Rugby Union SA staff member watching Sanka.
Late one there. I think the whistle
just a little bit late after the whistle. Ones you get away with, but another scrummage. Exciting little bit of the game right now. And see whether Tom behaves himself. See when he has that taken away from him. They do dominate the scrum. Oh, just inch perfect, and then they will fall off the tackle. Good yardage, great yardage.
Good run by Joe there.
Yeah.
He's been playing well this year.
He just wants to have a chat. The ruck has got messy. I think he will have asked him last time, so I wonder whether this is going to be a card. Because it's almost professional if you're slowing it down at this point. And there it is.
You're right. So Sparkles?
Sparkles.
He'll like that.
Sorry, Sparkles. The problem is it's Ben White at Onkaparinga is Sparkles, so I've got Sparkles and Prickles.
He had Fitzy and Prickles and I think, Fritzy, all sorts of nicknames. So Sparkles will do. Good player, Adam Fitzgerald.
Due deference. Oh, and the other thing as well is I didn't know the name of the assistant referee on this near side. It's Ross Neal. I went and introduced myself at half-time.
I think he refereed 2 games before.
He did.
Very good job.
He did the seniors. I think it was reserve grade, and then did the under-12. So, and now he's AR in the A-grade game.
Big day.
As much as we disagree with them at times, they are the bedrock of our game, really.
Exactly right.
I know your dad was involved for a long time refereeing, wasn't he?
Yeah. There's no game without them. So he's probably one of the worst to actually tell the referees what he thinks. But it's good on them. No game without him. So.
Oh, another line goes Woodville's way. See the facial expression of Jason. Just reduce it, Jason. Take it back down to 4. It worked.
Yeah.
Counter ruck from Elizabeth, just slowing everything down, making it a little bit messy.
Take the penalty.
Wants the penalty, and Andy Oliver carries on again.
Having a chat.
So, I do have a history of giving people nicknames. I think the Sparkles one by accident, but The one that I'm working with Andy Oliver at the moment is the Worm. He has a very Dennis Rodman feel to him.
Okay.
Just gets under the skin of the opposition. Oh, had a couple of bites at it, but gets it right eventually. Chance to counter from Elizabeth. Chance to turnover, which they have. Yeah, I know he tried everything, Adcock, to get away with that. Adcock will have taken over the reins of Matthew and Jet Connor with the old "what me ref" gesture.
Some good flankers over the years, Woodville.
We love you too, Spacequake Sports. Came from the SA Rugby referees. We do give them a hard time, and I feel like I'm fair as much as far as I can be. But somebody has to take control of this now, and I think missing Troy Everson and Jason is just keeps going with it. Someone has to take control of this and go, we've got to fix this.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Let's try something.
Yeah, the jumper we've got there, his knee's a little bit sore, Kyle Young, so it's a bit trickier. We're a bit short on jumpers today, unfortunately.
They've gone to 4 a lot. This time they go to 2, and off the top, De Oliveira to Whiten. Whiten with a chance to move, and Whiten with a chance to go.
Well done.
Whiten will get there. You win a line-out, you score a try.
That's exactly right. Took the opportunity there. He's a hard runner, Lewis, so he's very good at spotting the gaps. He's actually a very, very good gridiron player. He represented Australia playing gridiron a few years ago.
Why is he not at the Port Adelaide Spartans then?
Well, he's an Eagles man, I believe.
Is he still playing?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
That's a shame.
But he loves his rugby, so it's good to have him out here. He's very good at spotting the gaps.
Good, strong runner. And look, you know, we said it, and at least they got it right. At least they did actually win the lineup.
Yep.
Be banning Jason from calling the ball to himself again now. It shows what they can do.
There's a lot of positives there. Not too much wind either, so I wouldn't say that's playing too much of a difference, but hopefully we can get a couple more.
Nice step on the inside, a little in out. Parry to beat. Just strong enough to get there. So a Woodville restart. We don't see many of them.
No.
Haven't seen many of them today. Well, there's a change for Woodville.
Josh coming off there.
He is, which is a surprise. He's given them a heck of a lot to go forward. High hanging one.
Oh, good contest.
Good contest in the air. Not sure which way it's going to come down. A big penalty.
Not sure about that.
Yeah, he didn't let go on the floor.
Oh, okay.
But then again, neither of them did.
No, so. It's a bit of a clash. I'm not sure.
Good line-up position for them. I think you're probably going to see them not contest again, because this is driving maul territory.
Yeah, you're right. Here makes sense probably not to contest, but...
It's a really good contest between the two of them.
I think that's as high as Andy can jump as well, so I'm not sure.
That's where the similarities to Rodman end. That's all a bit messy. Not sure whether it's a maul or what it is, but it's what we do know is it's a turnover, and Whiten has to kind of squeeze it through. Now it's about the chase. Let's get in front of his support runners, then we'll straighten up. And Woodville will go again.
So it seems like Adam Fitzgerald, he's got the card, but John Finney must be off, I guess. Some of the attack they've had at the back there is...
Yeah, interesting that would be tactical.
Give me a rest perhaps.
So over on that far side, was it just a forward pass and then goes into touch? So I think you get the choice, and bizarrely, Elizabeth had chosen the line-out.
I'm not sure about that one. There you go.
So the 2-ball worked for them last time. See whether they go back to it. I think they're just a bit worried about the 2-ball with Adcock being at the front.
Yeah. Okay, done well there.
Yeah, get up in front of him. Adcock does very well to spoil again. A little knock on from him.
Yeah.
And you kind of see the problem that they've got. Do you know what I mean? Like,
not too many options.
No, they haven't hit the 4-ball at all. And the 2-ball is going to be a contest. But he did well. He got up in front, and they're going to get the scrum from it. So I was going to say, I'll be surprised if Mr. Garcia stays on this side of the scrum, with all of the problems have been over on that far side.
At training, they did do a 3-man line out, and it looked good. So I'm surprised. I'd like to see them try something different. Mix it up a bit.
And then they're driving up on this near side. Hyam looks for a target, decides the gap is the best one.
Strong run.
Beats a couple.
As always, Jace, strong runner.
Gets them on the front foot. Now they can start to move. Missed tackle one.
Run, Joe. Good
Second one gets away. So Elite doing really well and really strong runner. At the back, the first time we've seen ball in hand for that young man, but
yeah, Womma, I believe
brought with a huge amount of Woodville for company. The Dickens versus Price rivalry continues. Now they got a little bit of space. Can't quite get on the outside. Decides to come back inside.
Not held.
No.
Didn't see it that way.
Coming back for the penalty. Another talk. So on the opposite side of the coin, and if we had someone from Woodville here, I'd be saying to them, really, the scoreline is good, but these little penalties that are coming in, they're just stuff that can be wiped out and taken away.
Yeah, there's things to work on, that's for sure, for both sides. Yeah, a little bit scrappy.
Going to be a change for Elizabeth. I did speak to Jason beforehand, and kind of intimated that while they do have a bench of 3, it's not the most experienced bench in the world, so yeah, any changes would be due to injury.
Yeah, new players, so and our bench have all played B grade already.
Yeah.
Daniel Grungo, who's injured now, he's already played B grade, so it's their second game for some of the boys. But I think Grungo, apart from that drop ball, he's played well today. They scored the try. Seemed like he wasn't tackled there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, frame by frame, you'd be looking at, because the tackle is complete when the ball carrier is brought to ground by another player, and then you must release.
I just want to be on camera, I think. He's all right. He's the famous backheel try from last year in the finals. Do you remember that, Dave?
Well, he tried to backheel it and just stood on it.
No, yeah, and to the opposition.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
So, yeah, he cops a little bit for that, but he takes it well, Grungo. So. He's only young, he's learning the game.
Yeah. And he finished well.
Yeah.
So Whiten looks for touch. Now he's looked for distance.
And they've kept it in, Woodville.
And they have kept it in. Little high kick. He's put everybody on now. And footsteps. He heard them.
Matthew Pryder.
So and the referee's given the offside because he's knocked it on and the person in front's picked it up. Technically right, but boo.
We'd love to see him there take it cleanly and go for a bit of a run, but yeah.
I think everybody would. I think the ground was more out of disappointment than anything else.
It was on.
You can actually see him look.
Yeah.
Can actually see him have a little glance at the oncoming footsteps. But dude, you're wearing a number 24 shirt. Nobody coming towards you is bigger than you. 47 points to 12 on the Wojtek scoreboard. We've ticked over an hour.
contest at the back.
Oh, it's a good sack though. Hyam does well.
Yep.
Just to stop any momentum, and again it bobbles around and is mucky.
Thought that was a knock on, but anyway.
Starchenko will pick and drive, take on Brooks. Does just enough to slow it down a little bit. Adcock will look for a little bit of space. Oh, nice little chip through. Very well covered.
Well done.
Did he
Kyle.
call the mark as well?
Well done, Kyle.
Ah, take a bow, son.
For a flanker.
Look how comfortable, look how happy he was with that. He's doing everything he can not to smile.
Great work there for a flanker to cover that ground.
And Whiten will look to clear.
And some gap back here. So
yeah, bounces and comes back in field.
No.
Gets a little bit longer. Wonder whether he's going to try and take on. He does take on. Then he will put it on the boot.
Okay.
And it will go straight out of touch. And Kyle Young comes over and says, "Did you see what I just did in the 22?"
And that was about where the ball nearly went out. So
yeah, so all in all, I mean, it would have, the only thing is it would have been a Woodville throw.
Yeah.
It's now an Elizabeth throw. They've got to do something different. I want to see them change something up in this lineup. On the 4 again. This time they get it right. Whiten. Inside ball.
Rory Haynes.
Good, strong run from Haynes. To Lavera. Then it will find its way out again to Morgan. I think. Oh, just tried to flip it out the back and put them on the back foot. De Lavera will clean it up. Oliver likes his chances, puts his head down. Brooks, give it the old, I'm not holding on to it, but he had his elbow on it. Another penalty. John Finney is watching with us, so I think he is on the bench. I'm just, I don't know whether he had to go to work. We approach 10 minutes to go. Whiten again, that's not come off his foot well. Oh, you're going to have to go and get it.
Chasing with him.
Oh, he's done all right, nearly. And the knock on.
Well done.
It'll work well enough for him. Whiten will say that was all planned.
No one with him though. That's a shame. Like Lewis did really well there to chase the kick.
Yeah, I think everybody else was expecting it to go direct into touch.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I tell you what, if he got a better contact on that kick as well, it would have been interesting.
Could have been on.
And then Adcock can't quite get it. So another scrum, Elizabeth. It's a fairly decent blind side over here on this side as well.
And if Jace will have a go now.
It's back in the A channel though. Yep, there he goes. Beats around the first one.
Whoa.
Tries to run through Fitzgerald, doesn't quite manage it. Oh, and then Brooks will cough it up. Woof. That's an interesting clean-up. Slightly wider gate than people are used to. They'll go out the back to Adcock. Adcock will swing that left leg at it. Big distance on, and again.
Off his foot, is it? Play on.
Well, there's no whistle because I think.
Off his feet. Oh, no.
No,
Okay.
there we go. I mean, it's an interesting one because he did drop it, but then it did come off his foot.
I think he sort of gave it away there. If he played on a bit quicker, might have got away with it. Yeah.
Did come off his foot. But then he did give it up, and I think he thought about swinging the foot through it again.
Yeah, Jared, he normally plays in the forwards, Jared, so out there on the wing, giving it a crack. Good on him.
Yeah, I mean, other than, other than his turnaround counter, which he wouldn't be used to.
That's right.
Adcock puts the ball on the foot again, and again it goes out on the full.
John Roast coming on.
Yeah.
So,
He got demoted from commentary duties. Now he's got to go and play, and to change for Jacob Parry, who...
Roasty coached me, I believe, when I was under 14s or something. And
Where else the changes? They've taken one of the wingers off.
number 11.
Again, a messy line-out. Whiten, Tawaliti beats the first one.
Good
Then
run by
can
Joe.
get going again. Adcock, great covering tackle from Adcock. That one's definitely not held. And they're off and running again. Slow to get there for De Oliveira, and he has to work hard.
Matty
But
Alberts.
finally they get there with Alberts. Now they're set and lined up. Oh, I think they're going to do well to get away with that. Just the knock on.
Good run there by Joe.
Yeah.
Making a lot of metres lately.
Went a little bit too far for some of his support runners.
No support, that's
Oh,
right.
come back.
Did they take Sankar out here? Oh,
Ah, no. Oh, no. I tell you what, the Max Cargi with the blue headgear on, he's an absolute menace at the ruck. Good sturdy scrum again. De Oliveira to Whiten. Whiten with a couple of options. One of them is Tawaliti. Did well enough. His support just got there in time in Morgan. De Oliveira again. Alberts looking for work again. Out to that far side to Brooks. Does well to bring it in. Shakes the tackle of one.
good run.
And
by
the
Brooks.
second. Third one gets him.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
oh, it's terrible. I think discretion has got to be the better form of valour at that point when you're a halfback. When one of the big boys bends down to, like, just let it go.
Yeah.
Sanka just gave him a little bit of a shove just as he got there.
Yeah.
Just see it now. No.
Yeah.
Try saver from De Oliveira.
Yeah, Rory Haynes there. He's played B grade, so he's filling in for us there. It's unfortunate.
Garcia is well and truly planted himself on that side of the scrum in the second half.
Keeping Matt Pryder here on our side.
And lots of lots of leeway.
See if he's got any tricks.
Adcock just looks to gallop away.
Good run.
Beats a couple.
Oh, good offload.
Oh, and inside to Fitzgerald, and then
again.
one-handed into Roast.
Oh, well done.
Should have finished it, Johnny.
He's under the post, Roasty. He's waiting.
Yeah, give it to him. Give it to Roasty.
Give it to him.
Give it to him. That's his hat trick.
Ah, is it? Okay. Well done.
So
Good
there we go.
Support play there. Throw the ball around.
Hat
Roasty-
trick to
Roasty
Fitzgerald, and I think that'll tick us over the 50 points as well.
Yeah.
Comfortable afternoon from the men from Gleneagles Reserve.
Be borderline forward, but let that go.
There, camera angles.
Good rugby.
So 5 minutes to go on the Wojtek scoreboard. You would expect this one to knock over. 52 points to 12.
It's been a good second half. A bit tighter contests.
Yeah,
Elizabeth
it
went
was
through.
45-5, I think, at half
Yep.
time, actually. I did have a look at the scores as I went through. I'll have a look now. So that one does go through. I think scores were going as we expected them to go throughout the day. 74 points to 12. Old Collegians lead over Port Adelaide. 71 points to 5. Anka Paringa over Adelaide University. 93 points to 7. Souths taking on Barossa, and Brighton and Burnside will kick off, well, around 8 minutes ago.
Okay, that'd be a great game, that one.
Well,
Opening of the new club room, is it?
it
saw
is,
a
yeah.
photo
I
of
saw a photo of it this morning. Not been there yet. Well, I don't think we go there until later on in the season, unfortunately.
Okay.
But interestingly, we were talking about it, and we did talk about you know, we're going to see some big scores. Whiten looks to drop it on the 10-meter line.
And Chase took Kyle out there. There are they.
Friendly fire. Price tried to sell a little bit of candy again, didn't work that time.
Bit too eager there, Kyle.
The roast has come into 10. If you can stay relatively fit, you can play first 5 until you're 50. Can be a non-contact position. Or counter ruck comes. Counter ruck is good.
Well done, Grungo. Matty Alberts.
There are moments, you know, I think if you put together a highlight film from Elizabeth and the things they did well today, you'd have a decent film.
Yeah.
There's certainly positives to come through it. And Corgi again goes on a little bit of a rampage.
Oh, well done, Kyle.
Came out.
Got the ball.
And again, they turn it over. Certainly adapt to a scrappy game well. And Whiten again will look to get away. Manages to get his hands free. And another turnover. And Fitzgerald again can go.
That's the ball. Yeah, on your feet if you want to get it. Oh, whistle's gone.
I think everyone had given up on it at that point. But just when we talk about the scores, they are big scores. We are expecting to see big scores. That was to be expected.
Yeah.
But the important thing is, Elizabeth have got 12 points on the board. Port Adelaide, they've got 12 points on the board against Old Collegians. Adelaide Uni got 5 on the board against Onkaparinga.
Yeah.
We have not seen a whitewash yet.
Okay.
All year.
Oh, really? That's good.
Well, I say all year, it's only 4 rounds, but...
Yeah. Did we score against Old Collegians?
Say yes, Josh.
Okay, yeah.
Remember,
if
you say it, it's true.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I can go back.
The big scores...
yes, you did. You got 12 points.
Oh, did we? Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay. The big scores are good because even though you're getting, unfortunately, you get beaten by a fair bit, it's like if you can compare yourself to what you need to be, the level you need to be at. So for our players, you don't always take the scoreline into consideration. You just take your own game into consideration and just work on what you can see in front of you.
That one went to ground and then we're away. Roast again. And a couple of bites at it and finally gets it away to Corgi. And then Corgi again. Geez, a devastating runner. That's an incredible turnover. No, it was far too incredible. But they've gone the high tackle.
Dicko and Brooksy made that tackle. Dicko's making a few tackles today. Getting involved.
He's certainly done. I tell you, for me, he's been one of the outstanding performers on both sides of the ball. If I had to choose a man of the match, it's difficult because both of them have played really well as teams. But Dickens certainly has put his hand up for most of the stuff. I've been impressed, really, really impressed with both the number 10s.
Yeah, that's been good to see that contest.
But I couldn't pick anybody who's been head and shoulders above anybody else. The Adcock brothers, as per usual, have played very well.
They've been great, yeah.
I think Lindsay has just about edged his brother today. That's messy and gone over the top. And
take by Matthew Pryder.
and the out the back from Pryder. He got so excited he wanted another go.
Need to put a step on.
Whiten into Oliver. We love it when the big boys get to rumble, don't we?
He's stolen there by Adcock, was it?
No. There's a penalty, though. Whiten decides he wants to go. Sends it out to Alberts. Rolls a couple more meters. To Lavera. Oh, Pryder put his hand up for work again, but Brooks with the nice little slip pass. They've decided they want to play now. Kyle Young. To Lavera again. To Aliti. Oh, one-handed out. Oh, just didn't go to hand. Oh, unlucky. James Hamill coming on and throws his mouth guard in frustration, just like Steph Curry.
He had a great game of B grade, Jimmy, so good to see him back up. It's unfortunate there.
Do you know what? And we come and do these games and you think to yourself, and even if you look at this, find its way in. Even when you look at this score and you go 54 points to 12, it's not going to be an enjoyable game of rugby. They are always entertaining, aren't they?
Yeah. yeah, some of the passages of play have been great to see. So.
And there will be a line-out. We are in red time on the Wojtek scoreboard, so there's not too much longer to play. Not a huge amount of injury time in the second half, so I don't think we're too far away from finishing as we set ourselves for a line-up.
Yeah, I think Elizabeth's going to be happy with that second half. They've done well. And that's with a few substitutes coming on, and yeah, they've done well.
Like I said, it was 45-5 at half-time, so
yeah,
you have done well.
Oh,
De Oliveira with a line-out win.
I think it was not straight though, was it?
Yeah, well, there's an arm out, but it's arm out Elizabeth's way. Can they get there? Can they get a consolation try? De Oliveira, Whiten. I think he's looking for his hat-trick as well.
Solid defence there.
Didn't work that time. Tower he leaves it behind.
Cleaned up by Rory.
And coming back for something. Free kick. Take the scrum. Take the scrum. No, Whiten with the tap. Oh, to Hyam. Hyam looking for a gap. Can't quite get there.
So close.
Can't quite get there. We are in Whiten. Oh.
Get it back, Jace. Oh.
Oh, try. Penalty try.
Penalty try, okay.
Oh, and a card.
Was that for not rolling away?
Oh, it's a yellow. They did want them to tidy up the breakdown. So there's the penalty try, so no kick, and that's full time.
Oh.
And that's an action-packed end to it. So Woodville will take that one. How's your maths, David? 54 points to 19. It's been a long day. But it's entertaining. Can't really see what's going on at that point.
No, I think maybe Woodville went rolling away. I'm not sure. That seemed like a high tackle.
Didn't really signal, but
no.
Anyway,
yeah.
Woodville will take that one easily. But as we said, very, very entertaining, very, very good fun. Thanks again to Elizabeth for hosting us. Josh, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you with us. As far as Elizabeth go, there's a lot of positives to take into Tuesday night training.
You're right, exactly right. There's a lot of positives and like new players, fresh players. So work with what we got, and like you say, the highlight reel will show some good rugby. So.
It certainly will.
Yeah.
And I did speak to Tommy Price before the game and said, look, if you win, just bring yourself over here straight away so I can talk to you. And he said, you know what, I'll forget. And he has forgotten. So on that note, we will say goodbye to you from a lovely, lovely evening up at Elizabeth. My name has been Dave Webb, joined by Josh Badcock. Join us next week. I'll just find out where we are next week. The live stream will keep going. I think next week's a little bit more interesting when we get to it. Next week we will be Old Collegians versus Southern Suburbs at Old Coles.
Great game.
With their new clubhouse, but that will be close. That is certainly a top of the table clash for those two clubs. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you at Old Coles next week from a beautiful sunset in Elizabeth. Good night.